First contact happened on a regular Tuesday in America. Jessica Miller was drinking her morning coffee when every screen on the planet lit up simultaneously. A tall creature with blue-tinted skin and eyes that glowed like stars appeared, speaking in a voice that echoed directly into human minds. "Inhabitants of Earth, we are the Galactic Alliance. You don't know us, but we've been watching you for decades. We need your help. Our civilization, along with 200 other races, is being exterminated by a force we cannot stop." The world stopped. Every person on Earth felt a chill down their spine. Aliens existed, and they were asking for help. The Vrak'tar have been destroying everything in their path for 50 years. They don't negotiate, take no prisoners, leave nothing alive. We've already lost 120 planets. 15 billion lives are gone. Our best generals, our most powerful weapons, our most advanced technology, nothing worked. The creature paused, and for a moment its voice trembled. "You are our last hope. We know you seem primitive compared to us. We know you've barely left your own planet. But there's something about you that scares us as much as the Vrak'tar themselves. And maybe that's exactly what we need." In less than 24 hours, Earth changed completely. Governments assembled. Militaries worldwide began working together for the first time in history. But the big question remained: how could a species that had barely stepped foot on Mars help in a galactic war? The answer came when the first humans were transported to Alliance ships. General Jake Harrison, veteran of 3 terrestrial wars, looked at an interstellar fleet for the first time. Thousands of shining ships floated in space like cosmic jewels, each one larger than any city on Earth. "Impressive," Harrison muttered, but then he did something no galactic ally expected. He started laughing. "You've got all this power and you're still losing? Let me guess, you always attack head-on, right?" Commander Vrak'tar, fleet leader, looked confused. "Of course. How else do you attack an enemy?" "Oh, buddy," said Harrison, still grinning. "You guys have a lot to learn about warfare." Humans studied the Vrak'tar for just 3 days. 3 days to understand an enemy that had defeated civilizations thousands of years old. And what they discovered was disturbing. The Vrak'tar were nearly perfect, stronger, faster, smarter than any known race. Their ships were indestructible, their weapons devastating, their organization flawless. But they had one flaw that only humans could see. They were too predictable. "They follow patterns," explained Dr. Rachel Stone, military strategist. "Always attack the weakest planet first. Always use the same formation. Always give the same ultimatum. To them, war is an exact science." "And to us?" asked Vrak'tar. Harrison smiled again. "To us, war is art. And artists, well, artists do unexpected things." The first battle happened in the Kepler 4042 system. The Vrak'tar arrived as always, in perfect formation, with their black ships that seemed to tear through space itself. They sent their usual message: surrender and die quickly. The Alliance fleet positioned exactly as expected. Bigger ships in front, smaller ones behind, all in organized lines. The Vrak'tar advanced, confident in an easy victory. That's when humans did something that broke 3,000 years of galactic military tradition. They ran. Not strategically, not in organized retreat. They simply fled in apparent panic, leaving the alien ships vulnerable. The Vrak'tar pursued, certain of victory, but fell straight into a trap no logical mind could predict. The human ships weren't fleeing. They were leading enemies directly into an asteroid field they'd secretly mined. When the Vrak'tar realized it, it was too late. Half their fleet exploded in a sequence of blasts that lit up 3 solar systems. But that was just the beginning. In the second battle, humans pretended to surrender, only to activate bombs hidden in the ships they offered as tribute. In the third, they used loud music on communications to confuse enemy sensors. In the fourth, they painted their ships with bright colors and attacked while dancing. Dancing, the Vrak'tar, who had never faced pure irrationality, began making mistakes. Their perfect patterns broke down. Their confidence vanished. For the first time in 50 years, they were losing. But the real turning point came when they discovered something terrible about humans. During the fifth battle, a human ship was captured. The Vrak'tar tortured the pilot for hours, trying to understand human strategy. The man laughed through the entire torture, not from bravado, but because he genuinely found it funny. "You still don't get it, do you?" he said, spitting blood. "We don't have a strategy. Each of us makes it up as we go. We're chaotic by nature. And you know the best part? We love it." That's when the Vrak'tar realized the terrifying truth. They weren't fighting an organized civilization. They were fighting 8 billion creative minds that had spent their entire lives inventing ways to kill each other, and were now directing that creativity against them. Humans didn't follow war protocols because they didn't believe in protocols. Each battle was an improvisation. Each attack, an artistic expression of destruction. They turned war into a chaotic and lethal art form. The Vrak'tar tried to adapt their strategies, but it was impossible. How do you prepare against someone who changes their mind every second? In the sixth battle, humans attacked while singing opera. In the seventh, they used ships painted like earth animals and roared through communications. In the eighth, they simply asked politely if the Vrak'tar wanted to surrender. And when they refused, they blew up their own ships in suicidal embraces that took half the enemy fleet with them. The Vrak'tar Supreme Commander, Zekthu the Annihilator, had his first nervous breakdown in 500 years of life when he received a report that humans were using jokes as psychological weapons. His soldiers, accustomed to absolute order, began developing something they'd never experienced: anxiety. "They don't make sense," screamed Zekthu during an emergency meeting. "Yesterday they attacked with flowers, and somehow managed to destroy 3 of our capital ships." Actually, the flowers hid micro-explosives that humans had developed in 48 hours. Because when you have an entire species motivated by the phrase, "You think this will work," technological miracles happen in record time. The war that should have lasted decades ended in 6 months, not because humans were stronger or smarter, but because they were completely, absolutely, magnificently unpredictable. The final battle was epic in its absurd simplicity. The last 100,000 Vrak'tar gathered in an impenetrable defensive formation around their homeworld, energy barriers that could resist supernovas, weapons that could destroy entire moons. Perfect military strategy developed over millennia. The humans arrived in their battered ships, playing loud music, and did something that broke the collective Vrak'tar mind. They asked to talk. "Look here," said Harrison over the communicator. "We know you're tough guys and all, but how about we stop this nonsense and play a game? If you win, you can have Earth. If we win, you surrender." "What kind of game?" asked Zekthu, suspicious. "Rock, paper, scissors, best of 3. The cosmic silence that followed lasted exactly 17 minutes. The entire Galactic Alliance watched, unable to believe the universe's fate would be decided by a human children's game. Zekthu, in his arrogance, accepted. After all, what were the odds of losing something so simple? Harrison won all 3 rounds, not by luck, but because he'd studied Vrak'tar patterns for months and knew exactly what they'd choose. The Vrak'tar always chose the most logical and strong option. Rock, always rock. Harrison always played paper. And when the last Vrak'tar ship was destroyed by a trap involving fireworks, classical music, and nuclear bombs simultaneously, the entire galaxy understood a shocking truth. The most dangerous species in the universe wasn't the strongest or smartest. It was the one that could laugh in death's face and turn destruction into fun. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. Because when everything ended and the Galactic Alliance thanked the humans, they did something no conquering species had ever done in history. They refused any reward and asked for just one thing in return. "Teach our kids about the stars," said Harrison. "We want them to dream of a bigger universe." That's when the Alliance realized they hadn't hired mercenaries or warriors. They had awakened war poets who fought not for conquest, but for curiosity. And maybe that was the most dangerous characteristic of all. A species that waged war to protect their dreams.